Hey, what's up, YouTube? It is Melanie back with Melanie Loves Death Metal, and I've got a very small collection update slash I got a gift in the mail. Wanted to talk about it. Ignore the background. I've got a lot of boxes and shit I need to clear out of here. Some of it's distro stuff, and other stuff is packages that I got for my son's birthday. Today is his birthday. He is 5 years old. So, yeah, my office is in shambles right now. As you can see on the CD shelf, there's just a bunch of shit laying around, and yeah, I really need to clean. So, anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. 3 tapes I'm going to talk about today. Going to preview some of them in the snippets. One of them I'm probably going to get a copyright claim for it, but we'll see how that goes. But yeah, Paul from Corpse Crystal sent me an awesome package. One of them actually included a CD. So he actually sent me 2 packages. One was a while back with Caustic Phlegm, which I showed on here, and also had another tape involved with this. And I didn't talk about it on this channel, and I don't remember why. Maybe because I hadn't listened to it yet. And then I'm a dumbass, and I went and I bought it on Bandcamp, not realizing that I actually owned it. And he was like, I already sent this to you. Well, he sent me another one, so now I'm going to do a giveaway. But he also sent me a new release that came out that I was going to buy, and he sent it to me anyway. So thank you for that. But in that package, he threw in Devourment, Molesting, and Decapitated Jewel Case of this album, which this is the only format I don't own this on. So I was super excited to see that. I don't know what pressing this is from. This might be a recent press that he recently just did. But this made me excited. This is one of those albums that, like, I hate to admit that I absolutely love just because of the, content around it. But Festering Vomitous Mass is, like, one of my all-time favorite death metal songs. And I actually have a friend on Instagram where that is his username. And immediately that's the reason why I started following him, and I've just talked to him for years now, and he posts some really fucked up shit, but it's also really fun to follow him. But yeah, I mean, Devourment's one of those bands where it's like they've progressed throughout the years of their discography, and they pretty much dropped the whole murdering of women, misogyny, awful things that death metal likes to talk about. Cannibal Corpse. Yeah, anyway, this is one of those classic albums that it's just impossible not to love. And I own it on several formats. I've got like 3 different formats of tapes that I own it on. I've got the vinyl, and now I've got a jewel case CD, which I was excited about. So, yeah, people love to shit on Devourment, especially the first like 2 albums, around the lyrical content and the imagery of it. And those same people still listen to Cannibal Corpse and in the first 4 albums and other slamming brutal death metal bands that have the same type of lyrical content as Devourment's first albums. And I'm like, you do realize that, right? Like, you're being a bit of a hypocrite right now. So before you start going and canceling the people for listening to this stuff, and then canceling the people that listen to really shitty black metal, think about what you're also listening to. Imagine that. Okay, anyway, so thank you, Paul. I was pumped when I got that. But anyway, let's get back to what I really wanted to talk about. The first tape that was in there is a band called Mucus, which is fitting considering I've just been sick for an endless amount of time, full of mucus. I'm probably going to cough on this video. Some word that I can't pronounce, ooze. I'm not going to try it. English is my first language, but you would not know with how dumb that I am when it comes to reading. A nice pink shell tape with some green print there. I really liked when tapes are pink. Oddly enough, that's a selling point. If there's a vinyl but there's a pink shelled tape, chances are I'll buy the pink shell tape first. That shit works for people. You don't think it does? It does. The J card, there you go. There you go. I just really like the color scheme of this. I have no idea what this album cover is. It's probably something disgusting. But hello, computer? God, you're so loud. So yeah, I don't really know anything else about this band. This is their first EP that they've ever released. They're from Pennsylvania. I looked at the members to see if they're in anything, and no. But it is really, really good. Meat and bones, death metal. I really like the chunky guitar riffs on it. Jesus Christ. How about, all right, we're going to close my mail app. There we go. It's got a really nice chunky riff to it. It starts out, kind of in the old school death metal vein. There's definitely that newer era death metal sound to it, but it's only 4 songs. Like I said, it's an EP. Some of the song names are pretty funny. One of them is Accidental Self-Mutilation with a Mallet. Somebody's having a rough day. But yeah, this is out on Corpse Crystal. It's still available on Bandcamp. Also, Corpse Crystal has their own website. You should purchase from there because Bandcamp takes stupid fees out. Yeah. Also, like I said, I have a couple of these to give away, so I will do that. I just need to get off my ass and do that. The next album that I got, which, just a reminder, there's going to be a snippet of Mucus in here edited. But anyway, the next album that was in that package was actually one that I had planned on going and buying, and then he sent me an email like, I sent this in the package with you, so thank you. This is brutal slamming death metal. Slam is a whole thing that I'm just not very well knowledgeable around. I don't listen to it a whole lot. I really have to be in the mood for it. It's not one of those genres of death metal that really I gravitate towards or listen to a whole lot. This one, though, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. It's got those, slam, like, types of vocals. I was just going to try to mimic it, but I didn't want to embarrass myself like that. But this is called Permanent Disfigurement. Admittedly, album cover was an instant click as soon as I saw that it came out. I just really love that album cover. In regards to this band, I don't know a whole lot about them. This is a demo that was released last year. They're from Massachusetts, and that's all that I really know. This is slam, brutal slamming death metal. It's got the like snappy snare. It's got the type, slam vocals that you're used to hearing. And again, not the type of music that I gravitate towards quite often. But I popped this on this morning. I got this package yesterday, and it hit right for me. Gonna cough now. Gotta love being sick. It's never ending either. So yeah, it really just grabs you by the throat. That is exactly what I would describe this as. It is also printed on a UV all over print tape, which is like the new thing now. I think a lot of labels are starting to do this more. Transcending Obscurity has been doing this for a while. And I've noticed Corpse Crystal has been doing this a lot more, and a couple of other labels. I really like it. I think it looks cool. Some people are just so stupid and like, ooh, I don't understand why it bothers you that much, but whatever. But anyway, nice little J card right here. I really, really like that artwork. And then other side is lyrics and the band. Coughing again. It doesn't say who does the artwork, which I wanted to look into that, and I completely forgot about it. So let's look right now. Who does the artwork for this? Is it not on the Bandcamp site? It's not. Well, I'm failing at this. If anybody knows who did the artwork for this, go ahead and put it in the comments because it looks awesome. Yeah, it's what you get with brutal slamming death metal. Machine with Maggots is a really fun song. That's the first song on this demo. And I would say it's probably my favorite one so far. It grabs me by the throat as soon as you listen to it. Pretty cool looking tape. Otherwise, I don't know a whole lot about this band. There might be a connoisseur that watches videos that will be able to say it. But yeah, that's Permanent Disfigurement. And then finally, the last thing that I wanted to talk about today is admittedly a purchase that I did after I watched the Heavy Metallurgy stream on this. They have an album club that dissects an album every Wednesday. I think it was about 2-3 weeks ago they did this. They did Portal last week, which was awesome. You should go check that out. But then they popped on this this album a couple weeks ago. I had never heard it, but I've seen a lot of people talking about it. I think Mark Riddick even said this was one of his favorite albums on the stream that he did with Ken and Phantom Slaughter and Dylan a while back about their favorite albums. And this is Miscreance with Convergence. I have the Desert Wastelands Productions tape that I ordered. I had never heard this. I have the split that they did with who was it now? I can't remember. And I remember being wowed by it. With Vile Apparition, they released a split with Vile Apparition and Desert Wastelands last year. I remember being completely wowed by Miscreance. This was one of those bands that I didn't know anything about. It was the first time I'd ever heard them, and that was the side of the split that I enjoyed the most. And I still to this day am gonna go along with that. This is thrash metal, in the vein of some old school thrash metal, very old school sounding thrash metal. A little bit of technical death metal involved with it. The band is from Italy, and that's all that I know. Like I said, they came out with a split last year with Vile Apparition. It's on this trans yellow tape, which goes along nicely with the J card, album cover, band picture. They talked about the band picture on that stream quite a bit, and they are dressed and ready to go to bring back the 90s thrash death metal scene, 100% to a T. This is some worship of that era, and they do it really, really well. The lyrics are on the other side. And yeah, they did a really, really great dissection of this. I really want you to go back and watch it. I am going to do a snippet of it a little bit here, but there's a lot of fun stuff in this album. I listened to it all the way through after I watched that video, and I immediately bought it. And like I said, this was on Desert Wastelands. It has a yellow Norelco tape. Let me just check really quickly on the old Bandcamp. There is a CD. And the tape. I don't know who, and then it looks like there was a vinyl copy also released. I don't know who released any of those, the CD or the vinyl. But they're sold out on Miscreance's Bandcamp. So I couldn't tell you where to find them. But the tape is still available on Bandcamp. That's where I got it. I think Desert Wastelands also has it on their website. Yeah, but this is some really good thrash metal, old school sounding thrash metal. I'm blanking on the bands that it reminds me of right now because I'm really wasn't prepared for this video, but I wanted to get something up. So yeah, check out the Heavy Metallurgy stream. I will link it in the description. I really like that they're doing an album every week. They cover some cool things I'd never heard. They cover some things that I have heard and that I'm familiar with. They did one on Afterbirth, which I thought was pretty cool, because I love that band. But yeah, this one, really, really good. Really good album. This is an album I missed last year. Probably would have been on the year-end list if I had listened to it a little bit more. And that is all that I have today. So thank you once again, Paul from Corpse Crystal. Also, Ground Zero Salem, Pat, just released a distro this week, a couple of days ago. And he's sold some awesome stuff on there. A lot of stuff that I wanted, it's already sold out, which I was pretty bummed about. He also has a YouTube page. He also sent me 2 vinyl a while back, and I have yet to show them on here and talk about them. So thank you so much for that, Pat. I finally got around to listening to them, one. And I finally am going to make a video on that because one of them is a band that released a new album last year that I did not talk about on here. but he sent me a split that they did a while back. So thank you so much for that. So that's what's coming up. That's all that I have. Go ahead and check out the Keep or Reap stream that I did on Heavy Metallurgy last Friday with Ben, Brain Smasher, Marty, and Alan. It was a really good time. I had a lot of fun. That stream is always fun when they do that kind of a show. And that's all I have. Enjoy your day, and I'll see you in the next one.